Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, they're saying something about the poster, so let's read the poster. Slay the evil, protect the innocent. Something Cody said.
I mean, the window was open. He jumped out the window. I don't know.
No. I have no clue. I'm just gonna do this now.
You'd better think of something fast.
My attorney badge!
That's the reason. Murdering criminals for the past 3 years.
Seems like a nice guy, but if a bit unprofessional. My God.
Unimpressionable. I mean, it was obviously Gumshoe. He has amnesia, and as we know, all people who have amnesia are the killers.
Wait, what are we looking for specifically?
I've completely forgotten.
Something that proves that he's not Galante?
Then he would have jumped out of the window, right? Because the window was open.
Hold on a second.
Nope.
I was thinking he wouldn't be stupid enough to leave his fingerprints. Is there any evidence which shows that he isn't Galante?
Security camera.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's take a look at that security tape again. What do we see?
A dude. Why, I see the defendant.
Presumably on his way into the penthouse, right, Sarah?
Right. What are you getting at? I see nothing strange.
And therein lies our problem.
What do you mean?
It's not what I see so much as what I don't see. Prosecutor, what is Sir Galante known for dressing up as while he kills his victims?
Oh, that. Okay. Oh, that's classified.
Nevertheless, somewhere along the line, that information got leaked. And now teenage boys everywhere are able to imitate him to their heart's content. It's a knight, isn't it?
Yes.
Tell me, where in this picture do you see a knight?
I don't.
Finally, some progress.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that you finally made some progress. Well, that is not the case.
What? He's a mind reader now, too?
And no, I'm not a mind reader. But you're overlooking one very important thing. Just because Galante is famous for his knight armor doesn't mean that he has to wear it everywhere he goes. Maybe he decided to go undercover this time.
Actually, I have a problem with the idea that this was even one of Galante's killings to begin with.
What?
That's Edward's fist!
Nick, what are you talking about? Sir Galante personally confessed to us last night.
I know, but they'd never believe that. They'd accuse me of making it up to cover for the defendant. I'm just trying to buy Mr. Parker some more time.
What do you mean? Of course it was Sir Galante.
How can you be so sure?
The scene fits his current MO to the T. Mott? His handwriting is all over.
Don't bring up that freaking coffin.
Mott did it. What? Why? What?
Are you
Why would
okay?
he draw? No. Why would he draw on the crime scene? Metaphorically speaking, of course.
I disagree. Once again, something very important is missing.
Obadiah's not very good.
You disagree? Ha! You're not even good enough to be my fake!
This is rich. No. What do you know? I've been chasing after this guy for 3 years and failing every year. You didn't even know he existed until yesterday.
Yesterday was enough. Detective Waters told me enough to know that something very big is missing from the crime scene.
What's missing? What are we looking for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Truth be told, I'm not exactly sure. I have a very general idea, though.
Tell me!
Galante's mark. We had a chance to investigate the crime scene yesterday. We found nothing out of the ordinary.
It looks like Detective Waters needs some more supervision. If he's letting a defense attorney onto the scene.
He has to be able to get onto the scene.
No. Mr. Williamson, did you know that the mark was not found? Yes, I did. However, that is irrelevant. The marks are never found right away.
Wait, what?
Galante doesn't leave his marks at the scene of the crime. I never said that. And I'm sure that Detective Waters didn't either. Where does he leave them? Usually in a nearby what? They always have a photo of the victim on the ground beside them. It makes it easy for us to identify his hits.
That's strange. Why were they so confident Sir Galante's the killer? They apparently haven't even found the mark yet.
We have other ways of telling when he's killed somebody. It's just never confirmed until we find the mark. Oh, what are these ways? Weapon type, position of the body, ferocity of the attack.
That's all circumstantial until you find the mark, though.
Sometimes circumstantial is all you need. I believe that you're familiar with this concept. Aren't you right?
Wait, is he referring to that case?
Oh, hello.
Why would he be upset about that?
Christoph was my brother. Oh.
God, another Gavin. Don't even freaking... Like, you'll give me a freaking heart attack.
The prosecution remains convinced that Galante was the culprit here. Unless you can somehow prove that the defendant didn't commit this crime. I see no reason why we can't end things now.
Because you want to, like, say that he's... whatever.
I already proved that he was indeed Sir Galante.
How?
By saying that he was Sir Galante. And that is final. Agreed.
Uh-oh.
Judge, why are you going with this?
Looks like things just got turned around again.
Flip turned upside down. Ferocity of the attack. Ferocity of the attack. Hey, you know, I thought it was kind of strange how Wayne had torn open Mr. Avala's body so much. It seemed like overkill. Now I realize why. It's because he's Sir Galante. A superhero has to be dramatic, so we had to create a dramatic scene.
If I want this to keep going, I'm gonna need this woman to talk more.
How about not?
Sarah, you found the body, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Would you like to say anything about it?
Oh, that's you.
Idiot.
I can't read. Only that it was totally messy.
Only that it was a total messy. That sounds like something she would say.
That's what I was about to say, to be honest. I'd advise against questioning the witness on the corpse. She tends to get a bit excited. Hey, that's not nice.
Do I want her to testify some more?
I
think I'll pass.
Give me the...
As much as I'd like to avoid it, this might be our only chance. The defense requests that she... The defense requests that the witness testify about when she found the body.
We want all of the details. Well, Mr. Williamson, let us speak. Nothing's going to change. But don't say that I didn't warn you.
Alright, watch the bottom screen.
Miss Keys, please tell us about your discovery of the body. Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be during the cross-examination.
I noticed that Mr. Rivalis hadn't left the his office for a while.
Are you
So I
okay?
went to check on him. Had a stroke. It's okay. I found him dead on the ground.
It'd be weird if he was dead in the air.
The knife, the murder weapon, was lying right next to his body. I rushed to call the police right away after that. You did a good deed calling the police. That's what any good citizen would do.
Rolling around in his innards
It
wasn't.
felt so nice. Gee, thanks.
Where'd the
Judgy
mouse go?
Boo.
Need I remind you, Your Honor, that this woman works for the mob?
I hate needless banter. Right to your cross-examination, please.
Alright, watch the bottom screen.
Oh.
It looks like he's, like, 3D modeled cell-shaded. Do you normally check up on him?
I usually only went in if he needed something. He'd call my cell phone if he wanted me. However, that morning I hadn't seen him since Wayne left. I thought to myself, I'll bet Wayne killed him, don't you know? What
Where
is
do
she
I even
supposed to...
begin to count the number of logical fallacies this woman makes?
She's supposed to be from Wisconsin? When he had guests, he'd usually phone me.
He'd usually probe me?
Probe me for details. Phone me to let me know when they were leaving.
Put
But not
your
this
arms
time.
down.
Don't you like my arms? He was probably dead by that point. Yeah, probably.
Ouch, this isn't gonna help my case.
That...
Fuck.
Really? Change. Oh. The defendant entered the room and then left.
The more information we have, the better.
Yeah. Shortly after, when Miss Keys came in, she found him dead. What conclusion are we to come from this? Well, it would appear that the defendant killed him, wouldn't it? That is correct. This is the only logical conclusion. When I went in there around 6:15, he was already dead. 6:15, yeah?
He was dead at 6.
He'd probably been that way for a few minutes already. According to the autopsy, this statement is accurate.
Hold on, what you just said. I think it's very important.
According to the autopsy.
Not you, shut up. The witness.
Who, me?
I don't see any other witnesses around here. Your Honor, I request that the witness add that last statement to her testimony.
Miss Keys. You heard him.
That was a good impression, Judge.
Thank you. I've been wanting to do it for a while now. Hmm. 6:15 that he entered his office.
Oh, come on!
Nope.
How would she freaking be able to see with the power out? Alright,
Just keep pressing, apparently.
gotta do this.
Save, scum.
Oh, I freaking pressed the wrong thing. Let's talk about something else for a moment.
What should we talk about?
The crime scene. When you entered the room, what did you see?
She was getting to that. Yeah, what he said, what she said.
This conversation's getting me irritated.
Yep. Press it all.
Alright, I'm gonna save here in case that freaking screws up the game too. Are you sure about that?
Nope. You betcha. I still had my cell phone. I could see the time from that. I can't remember exactly when Wayne left, but it was just a little before that.
About how long would you say?
I don't know, maybe a few minutes at most.
This is the only opportunity the killer would have had. That brief period from when Mr. Parker left and Sarah entered the room. What the
Found him dead on the ground.
As opposed to dead on the ceiling? Phoenix and I are on the same page?
Oh, you're being silly. You couldn't find a body on a ceiling.
Put your arms down!
Or wait, maybe you could if it was impaled to it with a... I think that is enough. We don't want to hear any more of your sick fantasies. I was just offering a hypothetical situation.
I hate this woman. With all of my being. I think you mean hypothetical.
Is that what the word is? I always get those two mixed up.
That's not a word! I'm pretty sure what you used isn't even a word.
No, I'm almost certain I saw it in the thesaurus once.
Yeah, the thesaurus.
I have a fifth impediment now.
You mean the dictionary?
There's a difference? Something tells me she isn't the type to casually browse through either. Does this conversation have a point?
No, not really.
Then why are we having it?
Did you tell us more about the knife?
Yeah, it was totally bloody and gross. I think there were still some little pieces of...
Ah! No, that's not what I meant!
Huh?
Did you tell us more about...
The
knife's victim.
Knife's design?
What did the knife look like?
Well, kinda like that one.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. I was hoping to hear more about it from you.
Oh well. Aw, you just want to hear my voice some more, don't you?
Sure, whatever gets you talking, I guess.
It had a rather pretty blade. About a half-foot, maybe?
I'm sorry?!
It's not a half-foot blade! Such a shame it was used the way it was.
Add that to your testimony.
Add it to it.
This sounds very important. Please add it to your testimony.
Okay. Very nice knife with a 5-inch blade perfectly suited for tearing through flesh. I assume the autopsy report would go good there.
Okay.
Nope.
The knife is not freaking half a foot.
Grasping at straws.
Which save is it?
We're at 122s. 222.
It's 122 for me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god, shut up!
On the ground.
I guess it would be the autopsy report, because that says 7 inches, doesn't it?
Yeah. That is enough. No more of your weird old
God,
fancies.
I wish I could... is there an option to turn on always skip?
Nope, I don't think so. Hypothetical.
Actually, this wasn't even the right one to press.
Yeah, it's fine. She isn't the type to browse the tube.
Does this conversation have a point?
Of course it does. We learned that she's not really all there in her head.
Oops.
Nope.
Crap.
It was Wayne!
I don't think this is important.
Why don't you just give us the option to go right back into that? I don't know.
Jesus.
Kinda like that one. that one in
Because
your
we haven't had
heart right
enough
now.
Captain Obvious in this already.
Oh shit, really?
Add that to your testimony.
Okay. Seven inches deep. Wait a minute.
A 5-inch blade, huh?
Uh-huh. I can measure it if you want.
That's okay, I'll take your word for it.
Not.
However, there's one thing I can't take your word on, and that's that this knife is the murder weapon.
You okay?
Kind of.
What? I thought the police had verified that it was the weapon.
Let's take a look at the autopsy report. It says the wound is 7 inches deep. There's no way you could create a 7-inch wound with a 5-inch knife. 5-inch blade.
No, he could have, you know, shoved it in all the way.
Giggity.
All the way up to the handle.
No, that can't be true either. The blade of this knife is covered in blood, but there isn't a single drop on the... Covered is a word I wouldn't use. Slightly
No,
dripped
no.
on, yeah.
What? You all are seeing a lot more blood than what's really there.
But there isn't a single drop on the handle. The one thing we can assume from this glaring contradiction is that the killer would have needed to use a much larger weapon than this knife.
Oh, right. But, I think there's still a problem. What's that, Miss Keys? Couldn't Wayne have, like, cut him more than once? He could easily cut that deep, he'd just use it like a saw, you know? Cut past all that tissue and bone with several strokes.
There would still be blood on the handle.
Well, Mr. Wright... It doesn't make sense.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't?
No, take another look at the autopsy report. It says there was only one cut. Yeah, that's what I was going for. That means the sawing motion wasn't possible. Well, Sarah?
Sorry, maybe not.
Perhaps you have an idea of what the real murder weapon could have been?
And why should she? Are you trying to accuse my witness of murder, Wright? What? No, he would never do that to me. If you're going to make accusations, I want to see evidence. Do you have anything to show that Miss Keys killed the victim?
Just gonna go ahead and save the game. I didn't exactly accuse her.
Yet.
She did lie about the murder weapon.
Lied, or was simply mistaken.
Well, that just eliminates one of your big pieces of evidence.
I promise you I wasn't lying, I think. Of course you weren't. You see, this witness, unlike the defendant, has no motive to lie. I'll grant you that the knife wasn't the murder weapon. Truth be told, I've had my doubts ever since the autopsy was written.
But you wouldn't bring those doubts to light because that would make you a good person.
That ain't my job to do. It's alright.
Then why would you present it like that?
I didn't. She did. Huh? The true murder weapon will probably never be found.
It's probably the sword that's in this guy's back.
Probably.
It's literally stabbing into him.
Well, you proved one thing. The knife wasn't what killed Mr. Avala's.
Yes, but what did that accomplish?
A lot.
Wait, so now we're back doing this?
I guess so. Who knows?
I think we just proved that it wasn't.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's still really suspicious that it was all covered in blood and stuff. There's a strong possibility that the knife was not the murder weapon. However, that does not clear the defendant's name. He was still at the crime scene at the time of the murder. Oh, I'm right. what he said. Okay.
When you say right away, you mean immediately after finding the body?
As soon as I got over the shock of finding my boss's guts spilled out all over, you know?
Shock in the biggest air quotes. About how much time would you say passed?
I don't know, minute or two. It was pretty disgusting, and I was pretty grossed out. It would be a reasonable reaction to finding a dead body. The police have a record of the call. We can confirm that Miss Keys is the one who made it. There's also the security tapes.
Security tapes?
Yep, I made the call while I was in reception. There's a video of me doing it.
Add that to your testimony.
Yeah. We can
How?
confirm this as well. By the magic of
Yes!
bullshit. Something's very wrong.
How can they confirm that?
Go
Witness. Surely you can see the contradiction you've just made in your own story.
on. I can't?
Maybe I should point it out for you.
Ah.
Sarah, you just contradicted yourself. According to you, you checked up on the victim close to 6:15.
When did I say that?
About 30 seconds ago. You don't remember?
Well, maybe I...
If you entered the penthouse at 6:15 and called the police a few minutes later, it would be impossible for there to be a security recording of you.
How come?
You presented me! If you recall, there was a power outage that morning.
So?
So, it lasted until 6:27.
Daylight savings time.
You entered the penthouse around 6:15. There's almost a 15-minute gap from when you entered the penthouse and when you called the police. Oh, come on.
What he's saying is that it's obvious you didn't call right away. Oh, yeah. You're right. Maybe I didn't.
Put your arms down! Sarah, what were you doing? What were you doing during that 15-minute period?
I don't know. I kind of forgot. Thou shalt not lie, Miss Keys. Please tell us what you're doing. That is... bleh.
Bleh.
Well...
I was fucking myself with his intestines.
I was fucking his intestines. Speak clearly. I was looking for my phone. I lost it during the blackout and was having trouble finding it. I had to wait until the power came back on before I could see it.
That sounds like the biggest cop-out answer ever.
Didn't she just say she used it to tell the time?
Sarah, I could accept a small slip-up, but your testimony has shown not one but two major contradictions.
Two?
I can't accept that as just a coincidence. First, you conveniently lose your phone when you need it the most, and then it turns out that it was impossible for the supposed murder weapon to have killed the victim.
I guess I was mistaken?
I'd say that's also rather convenient.
I'm going to stop you before you go any further. This woman is innocent. Don't even think about accusing her. You will not throw out this case like that. Throw out? Accuse?
I hadn't...
I know your tricks. You hadn't, but you were going to.
You're just jumping to conclusions.
That does tend to be how your trials turn out.
What does?
You know, accuse the witness and prove they're the real killer. Could I speak for just a moment? No?
She was the only other person on the floor that morning. Maybe...
Just like a defense attorney to place the blame anywhere but on their client.
Well, yeah. I'll place the blame on whoever deserves it.
Or on whoever you say deserves it. Excuse me? Mr. Wright, were you going to accuse the witness of murder?
I don't actually have anything that connects her to the crime. It would be idiotic to try that. No, Your Honor.
Well then, perhaps we should... Hey! Shut up and listen to me while I'm talking. Yes. Parker killed. What is wrong with your face?
Yeah, her face looks weirdly different.
Parker killed him. It doesn't matter whether or not he used that knife. And it doesn't matter when I called the police. He's still the only one who went into the room.
There was the blackout.
Weren't you listening to me before? I would have still seen anybody coming into that room, and I didn't see anybody. Parker entered. Parker left. Nobody else. That certainly does put a damper on the defense's case, doesn't it? Yes, if the defendant was the only one to come in the room, then he's the only possible murderer. Let's close this case up. There's no reason to make it longer than it has to be.
No, not yet. Wait, Your Honor. I request the witness testify again.
No.
We still haven't heard a detailed report on the blackout.
You mean a detailed report on nothing? You want her to testify on all the suspicious people she didn't see pass through.
There had to have been some gap where the killer snuck in.
The killer didn't sneak in. He walked right past her. She has testified to this very fact.
Crap. Poor Mr. Parker.
I agree with Mr. Williamson on this. There's no reason to hear from the witness again. Actually, yeah, I'll testify. Why? Miss Keys, I'd really appreciate it if you left those kind of decisions up to me. No, you know, it's okay. I'm totally fine with handling the responsibility.
Put your arms down.
That's not what I meant. Let me do it, Mr. Judge. I can tell you all about how it has to be Wayne.
The witness wants to testify, Your Honor. Are you really going to deprive her of that pleasure?
Why, well, no, I suppose not. If it means that much to you, I see no reason not to. This is absurd. I will just...
What?
I will just be a waste of time. In this corner, over here. Oh, quiet, you. What? I'm doing this for you, though, Feeny Poo. So that means this Saturday.
Hey, wait!
Just agree to it, Nick.
Is that really the only way?
So, I guess, a testimony, right? About the blackout, right?
Jesus Christ. Why are we talking to you for so long?
Where's Cody? Even after the lights went out, I could still see fine.
How?
I would have seen anybody coming up the elevator or the stairs. Those are the only two ways into the penthouse. Wayne's the only one I saw during that time. Okay?
Cool.
Not only did the defendant enter the room, it was impossible for anybody else to go in after him without the witness knowing. We've been over this so many times. So many times. Right. Only one person had an opportunity to attack the victim.
Kind of went half and half there.
The rest doesn't matter. Right.
Only one person, huh?
Right. This is just great. Things are looking worse than before.
Yes, but this might also be the break we've been looking for.
If you say so. Good lord.
Okay. The blackout.